78 Sports TV here with IBF welterweight champion, our brother Showtime Shawn Porter. How you doing today, champ?
Yes, sir. I'm doing wonderful. Just left church and about to catch up on these games. How you?
Pretty good, man. I'm glad that you took some time out for us. I got a lot of questions for you from members of the YTBC YouTube boxing community. You might answer some of those questions for us, bro.
Let's do it.
All right, we got first question from the brother Boxing Beats and Rhymes from the UK. He says, do you feel that the Julio Diaz fight was a wake-up call for you in your career?
A little bit of a wake-up call, a little bit of a learning experience, a little bit of everything for me. But I do think it was definitely a pivotal point in my career, a make-or-break fight for me. That draw that I had, and you know, I think everyone saw that I came back stronger and smarter, and you know, I think everybody saw in the second fight what they should have thought in the first fight. And but again, you learn from all the experiences you have. So I think that helped me a lot going into my fight with Devin Alexander.
Okay. Also, Tito Garcia from the YouTube boxing community also wants to know how. Could you tell us a little bit about your background in high school football and how good were you?
I was pretty good. Anybody knows me, knows I'm a pretty humble guy. I'm not gonna really say too much, but I started varsity sophomore, junior, senior year on both sides of the ball, offense and defense, running back, as well as special teams, kickoff return, punt return, and on defense I was a safety in the corner. And my junior and senior year, I rushed for over 1,000 yards, rushing as a running back for actually two different high schools it was too. So
okay.
I had a pretty good football background, and I think maybe hitting those weights for all those years, you know, put me in another category as far as the power goes for the welterweight division.
Right. Okay, so. Speaking of football, who are your picks for the Super Bowl?
I want to see Denver and Seattle do it. I think actually I think that Seattle has a tougher matchup today than Denver does, but I think if those two make it to the championship, I think Seattle will take it this year. I watched them closely this year. I like every bit of their team from the coach all the way down. And I think they're the most well-rounded football team right now in the NFL.
Okay. The next question I have from you, I believe, is from the brother Bloodfist, and his question is: you seem to have gotten better from your Diaz, the fights with Gomez and Diaz, and he says, who would you say are the toughest fights for you in your amateur career and in the pros?
I don't know if many people know this out there, but me and Danny Jacobs have a bit of a rivalry, a long background, a lot of history. We've been in the ring against each other maybe 6 or 7 times between the ages of, I think, 15 and 20 or 21 going into the Olympic trials. So as an amateur, he was probably my toughest matchup. I fought against some other guys from Ukraine and Cuba and stuff like that. Those guys were good too, but as far as here in the U.S., I would say I had Danny Jacobs. And then in the pros, of course, you take a look at my draw with Julio Diaz. He's just a really tough fighter. After that draw, you know, everyone wanted to know what he could do against Amir. And I said that, hey, he's going to give Amir a run for his money. My dad didn't think so. My dad thought that I didn't do what I should have done in that match, and I made the fight a lot harder than it should have been. But we saw what he did against Amir Khan as well. So Diaz is just one of those fighters out there that even though he's older and he's got a lot of experience and he's still got a lot of pack to a punch. And then also you did mention Alfonso Gomez. He was another good tough opponent too. He took a lot of shots, and I didn't show as much defense in those two fights too. So I think after you're able to take a look at what you're doing in the ring, and take a look at definitely the defense needed to improve, and over the last year or two I had.
Okay. Another question we have from Andre F. He's asking, what kind? He knows that you were a high school football player and that you were pretty a heavy guy. So, what kind of diet and did you use any strength and conditioning coaches or special training methods or diet to cut weight for boxing? And also, I think he wanted to know. Yeah, I think that's it. Pretty much, he wanted to know what other kind of cross training, if any other sports did you play in high school?
Right, yes. I've always had cross-training in my repertoire. I played football growing up. My whole life, it was football and boxing. I started playing basketball in high school as well. So even now, I go out, instead of doing a gym workout, I'll go out and play some ball for a couple hours or something like that to, lose weight or whatever. But as far as the actual diet goes, I really wouldn't say there's anything special. We stick to the normal program, the clean foods, the tuna, the chicken breast, turkey breast, salad, broccoli, oranges, apples, bananas, oatmeal, just the simple foods that give you energy, but it's also easy to cut.
Okay. Another question from Haplotype 0. He wanted to know, how did you get your nickname Showtime? And also, would you consider a unification bout with Timothy the Desert Storm Bradley, since you are not officially signed with Golden Boy?
Right. My dad gave me that name when I was young. It was a fighter that he watched growing up by the name of Showtime. So he just kind of gave it to me. I've had that name almost my whole life. And as far as unifying the belts, I do that anytime, anywhere.
Okay. Mex Rider 1 has a question for you. He wants to know what advice would you have for young fighters coming up to help them overcome the difficulties in the sport of boxing?
Yeah, it sounds cliche and everything, but you got to work hard and stay focused. That's it. It's easier said than done, but it's that plain cut and dry. It's that simple. You stay focused, stay dedicated to your craft, and just keep improving. And
Okay.
the rest is, you get opportunities given to you. You just gotta take them.
Okay. Do you think that I know someone else asked this question. Let me find out really quick, because I want to give that person credit for the question. Sinister Charlie, YouTube boxing community member, Sinister Charlie asked the question. He says, do you think that Floyd Mayweather cherry picks opponents, or do you think he's avoiding a fight with Manny Pacquiao?
And you know what? Floyd is in a very privileged position. He's been a title holder damn near his whole career. He's been a professional, I think, 16 years now, might be something around there. Yeah. And he's at that point now. He's in a privileged position. If you could pick any opponent that you wanted to fight, what would you? So on one hand, you hope you're getting picked. On the other hand, you can't really judge such a great fighter like that for handpicking his opponents. Hey, if we could do it, if we all could do it, we would. So any boxer out there that's complaining about that, get over it, get in line, and if you get the opportunity, you make the best of it. I'm praying I get the opportunity with the guy one day.
Okay. Aztec 101 asked the question, would you ever consider moving or taking on champions at 154?
Yeah, that's definitely going to be a move. I think everyone out there is well aware of my football background. I didn't play football at 147 pounds. I played football at 175 pounds. And then my last few years in the amateurs, I fought at 165 pounds. And so I'm just a natural big guy. I got a lot of power, a lot of speed. People look at my height as a disadvantage, but I think once I make the move to 154, I'll be ready for it. And as far as the height goes, it's never been a problem for me before. I've always been the smaller guy in the ring my whole life. So when that move will be made, I'm not sure, but it will be made before the end of my career.
Okay, all right, sounds good. A question I wanted to ask you is a response. I talked to your father, Kenny, yesterday. A response to the statement made by Richard Schaefer that a possible matchup between yourself and Keith Thurman might be in the horizon. Is that a fight that you're interested in, or would you rather take on a Juan Manuel Marquez who has also called you out?
Well, you know what? If I had to pick between the two of them, I would go with Juan Manuel. Why? Because he has a bigger name. There's more money in that fight. And I think he, in a lot of ways, presents a bigger challenge for me. But on the other hand, you have Keith Thurman. I've known the kid for a long time. I knew when I turned pro at 147 pounds, I might see him one day. That's no secret. It's going to happen. When it happens, I don't know, but trust me, Team Porter will. I'll be ready for that one.
Okay. In April, I guess they're trying to make the fight for April, but Adrian Broner versus Marcos Maidana rematch. I know the first time around you were picking Adrian Broner along with me, and everybody else picked Broner. How do you see that second fight playing out?
I'm still picking Adrian.
Okay.
I think he's going to make his adjustments. I think he's going to use his speed, and he's going to do what he should have did in the first fight. I think the fight that he had is something like the fight that I had with Julio, only obviously a lot worse, but in the sense that it's a wake-up call. It's a fight that lets him know that he's not as great as he thinks he is, and he's still got some hard work to put in. And I think he'll put in that hard work, and he'll make his adjustments, and I think he'll win the second fight.
Okay. Also, in 10 years, brother, what is it that you want the boxing world, the fans, to be saying about Showtime Shawn Porter?
You know what? I just want everyone to appreciate what I've done, what I had done for the sport. They don't have to call me great. As long as they know that I was talented. I gave it all I had, and I did it for them. That's all I want to be remembered by. Obviously, I want to be remembered as a champion, someone who never gave up, someone who gave it their all in the ring, and on the outside of the ring was just always happy and smiling and ready to give anybody the time of day, when and whenever.
Okay, and I also heard a rumor. Does Devin Alexander, did he have a rematch clause in his contract? And if so, has he exercised that rematch clause?
There's no rematch clause, and he most likely will not get a rematch. You don't get a second chance at this guy right here. I think that I did everything I wanted to do in that fight. We accomplished a lot in that fight. We made some stepping stones, and I think at this point, fighting him again is like taking a step back. I really don't see a reason to rematch Devin Alexander. Maybe in a few fights, if he's on somewhat of a winning streak and he's trying to build himself up again, and he wants to make that fight. If it looks like a good fight, maybe something we do. But at this point in time, I don't see myself rematching the guy.
All right. I know last night you were watching the fights. Talk to you for a second. What did you think of the fights last night, Pacquiao versus Butte? And do you think Pacquiao has improved since training with Roy Jones?
I thought Butte didn't really show for this one. He seemed a little gun shy. He didn't really throw as much as I thought he would. He didn't outbox Pacquiao the way I thought he would. On the other hand, Pacquiao looked great. He looked fast. He looked quick. Looked like his normal self. I think he improved a lot since working with Roy Jones, and I was happy to see him get that win. I thought he looked good.
Okay, another question on a more personal note that I want to ask, because now I try to ask all young brothers this question: how do you stay focused, on boxing when it seems like the higher you go up the ladder, the more you achieve in the sport, the more famous you become? There are groupies out there who I'm sure there's groupies that throw themselves at you. Okay, how do you stay focused and stay out of trouble and dedicated to the sport of boxing with those kind of temptations out there?
Well, there's two things going on here. One, myself, I have a saying, I stay out the way. And what I mean by that is, I know that there's a lot of craziness going on out here. I know that there's, stuff going on in casinos and strip clubs and, just women at the malls and all that kind of stuff. So, stay to myself. I stay out of the way. You know, I have fun when I can. That's usually going to the movies or going bowling or maybe playing pool. But other than that, I stay out of the way. And then on the other hand, I have my father who's with me 24/7, making sure that I'm staying focused on boxing, even when I'm just laying down in my room trying to watch TV or a movie or something like that. He's still coming in, making sure that, you know, boxing is on my mind. So it can't be done without him. What's be done is good without him. And so I'm very fortunate to have him.
Okay, and also I want to give credit to his name is Black Dub 84. I think he asked the question about what you think about Adrian Broner and Marcos Maidana rematch. And also, my last question for you, Shawn, is what can you tell us? What do you want boxing fans to know about you that we don't already know?
There really ain't much that I want anybody to know, man. I just want everybody to know that I'm a simple, God-fearing kid that loves to box, that loves to make money, that loves to excite crowds, and that's about it. Other than that, I don't got much going on, man. That's it. I don't have a girlfriend. I don't have a wife, kids, nothing like that at all. So it really ain't too much going on for me right now. I guess a lot of people out there already know, but I'm somewhat of a movie connoisseur. I go see everything as soon as it comes out. So any fans out there that want to know what movies they can check out, just hit me up on my Twitter account, Showtime Shawn P.
Okay. Since you're a fan of movies, and I am also, what's your opinion? This is for my brother Mike Soul. He's also a movie connoisseur. So, what would you say is your favorite movie of all time, and why?
You know what? I got a couple movies that I could call my favorite movies of all time. I try to sum it up real quick. When I was little, I always watched this movie, The Never-Ending Story. Something about that movie, something about sci-fi that really gets me. I love sci-fi movies, so that's one of them. Then I would say one of my most favorite movies is Any Given Sunday. Al Pacino, Jamie Foxx, Cameron Diaz, LL Cool J, you name them, they were in it. LT, Lawrence Taylor was in it, and that was just, I thought that was a dynamite movie, from the comedy aspect all the way up to the suspense and the thrill of actually being on the football field. And Bill Bellamy was in the movie too, so that's definitely one of my all-time great favorite movies right there.
Okay, brother, I'm gonna let you go, but for acting purposes, I definitely want you to check out, if you haven't already seen, a movie called A Soldier Story with Denzel Washington and Adolph Caesar. Classic movie, man. You'll love it if you haven't seen it.
Movie, right?
Yeah, it's an older movie from the 80s.
Yeah, I'm familiar. I haven't seen it, but I'm familiar. And see, that's the kind of person I am, man. I like watching old movies now, like movies that I haven't seen with those big actors that you know, back then weren't as big as they are now. You know, I like going back and checking those out. So, what's the one again? Soldier?
It's called A Soldier Story.
Soldier Story. Yeah. I think I've seen a little bit of that one before. Yeah, it's a war movie, right?
Yes, it's about I think World War II. It's a great movie. Yeah, check it out for me, and next time I talk to you, I'll try to get your review on that movie and what you thought of it. But I want to thank you for your time, Showtime. You're a stand-up dude. Thanks for answering the questions, and we'll check in on your career, and hopefully you get that big fight with Marquez or something like that, or a unification bout with Timothy Bradley if that situation with Pacquiao doesn't work out. So before I let you go, I know I said that about 1,000,000 times, but what's your thoughts on Pacquiao and Bradley? Should that fight take place, who wins and why?
Manny wins. I think he's smart enough and knows that he has to finish the fight where it should be finished. I think in the first fight we all saw that he clearly won the match, but there were a few times that he could have taken advantage of Timothy Bradley and let him off the hook. So on the other hand, I think Timothy he's going to take a look at that fight, and you know he'll see some of the errors he made too. So I think it'll be a good fight, but I look for Manny to win that one.
All right. Thank you for your time. 78 Sports TV, Showtime, Shawn Porter, and Will Holler.